It's your boy Amari Shampoo, and this is my very first Q&A slash sobriety YouTube page. So thank you everybody for tuning in with me. This is after long awaited time for my lights and my camera and everything like that. I got the camera and the light, but I'm not using the camera right now until I really figure out how to use it and everything. And then the laptop too. I ordered a laptop soon, man. I'm waiting for it to come in so I could start the editing process and everything, because it's all been like a cluster fuck to me. So little background story on me. My name is Amari Shampoo. My real name is Joseph Rodriguez. Um, I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I've been in Connecticut for about 17 years now. Um, Originally we moved here for a better life and everything like that. I say it helped, and sometimes I didn't, but who knows where I'd be if I was still in Brooklyn right now, probably dead or in jail. But it's the same everywhere. So a topic I wanted to touch on, if you know me from Facebook, I've been doing a sobriety type chart thing every month, and I'll say like 1 month, no pills, no weed. 2 months, no pills, no weed. So right now I'm at 7 months right now. No pills, no weed. And I wanted to touch on it. A lot of people, support me and through it, and I love it. Thank you so much, especially the people that don't even know me. Support, and I think that's the most people that's ever gonna support you is people that don't know you, because they don't got no reason to hate on you. So, or they're not gonna benefit from you making it. So I wanted to say thank you everybody for doing that, and I'm gonna keep it up. And I wanted to do more background on it, and for years, I've been smoking weed, doing this, doing that, and it never led to no hard things. I'm not gonna sit here and speak for everybody about how it was and everything like that, because there's people with different highs. So thank God I never led to the hard dope, um, crack, things like that. I dabbled some weed, some pills, and I touched a little yay a few times here and there. But to be honest, on my soul, it never got me to like. I never seen where everybody was into it. Like, oh my God, I gotta do this all the time. The pills and the weed, it was something that I did feel like I needed, or I can't do a certain thing without, and that was ecstasy. I had a long battle with ecstasy, about 5, 6 years. You know, um, I was doing it, and it first started as like a motivation thing. I'm into music, and everything like that. You could look for my music at Artillery Rodriguez slash SoundCloud.com, and I was doing the e pills and the weed, because it kind of, if you do e pills, you know that weed and e pills go hand in hand. Ecstasy, for a better term. And for years I was battling with it, and every time I was in a bad place or something, I'll use it. And if you did it before, like it'll brighten up your day if you don't abuse it. So like an Adderall type of thing. Um, Up all night, can't sleep, can't eat nothing, and that was, heavy. I was doing it more heavy when I was in my single life and everything like that, because me and my partner was going through it for about 6, 7 months, almost a year we was going through it. So I was living with a family member and everything like that. So I really ain't have nobody there to tell me stop, and I needed to be up, 'cause my uncle, the person I was living with, he was heavily on drugs, on, dope, crack, stuff like that, and he would be up all night, or if not, he would be up early, bothering me to give him something, early in the morning. So it used to get me pissed off, because then I'll start saying stuff that I didn't mean or anything. So the e-pills came in hand with it, because then I'd be like, let me just take one, write music all night, stay on Facebook all night, YouTube, whatever, and I'll be up to like 12 the next day. So he'll wake up and I'll just be like, hey, what up? Or, by the time he came and bothered me, it was like, I'm already up, nigga. But then, me and my wife started, getting back together, talking and everything like that. And, I had my 1-year-old son here. Well, he's 3 now, but at the time he was 1.5 or 2. He was 2. Yeah, he was 2. And, we started talking again and everything like that. And, I was still getting high, smoking weed, doing the pills, in my area that I was at in Waterbury. People were selling them. Then I started selling them thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to have, basically free pills and stuff like that. But I was doing more than I was selling. I just make barely enough to get more to sell and keep my name up or keep my. So, as times came, I'm up, dealing with the paranoia, my uncle, and, one thing I could say, at least he ain't still, because then that would have been really bad. So I was kind of doing it to myself, with the spending money and everything like that, and poor judgments and paranoia, thinking people, you hear shit. Like, if you on ecstasy, you're gonna hear shit that's not there. You're gonna hear noises, or you wanna tippy toe. I was like tippy toeing around the house on eggshells, so to say. Everything was too loud for me. It was a whole bunch of shit that, so, long story short, on that, me and my girl started talking and everything. She moved out of town. And, I was really, happy because, damn, she moved out of town and everything. We were so close. And then once she moved, I'm like, damn, like, I really got to fix this, because she's way over there. You know what I mean? Some other nigga gonna slide in and, she gonna forget about my dumb ass. So it was like sitting, I was like, damn, I got to fix this. I got my son over there. I don't want to be, somebody else raising my son over something that I couldn't fix. So, we had our issues and everything, and I'm gonna have other videos for that, on the fighting and everything, and what led to us breaking up, and, a lot of that stuff we're gonna be doing on this page, just clear cut stuff. Like, I don't want to see nobody saying, oh, but you did this, or look my name up, and, we're gonna talk about it. So, yeah, so, long story short, I moved in, after doing my bullshit, dealing with the other girls and all that stuff like that. She finally took my ass back and got over here, I was still doing them, and we'll both do it, smoke weed, pop a pill, and pills, I ain't gonna make it seem like it was that bad. Like, I was just like, nah, we haven't seen each other in a long time, so pop one, start getting freaky, and all that touchy. It gets you to that point. If everybody know the true e-pill heads, like, it's gonna keep you up all night. You're gonna be pretty much horny every minute. You're gonna be wanting to smoke a blunt, like, bad. Like, there been times I done bought pills and I'm like, I don't smoke. I really never liked smoking like that. It always brought the paranoia in me, or the, stink mouth, and so I never really but I'll do it, and then I'm like, damn, we need some weed. Like, eyes rolling, mouth all crazy, like, so now we're doing both. Now money's going out the window for these both, because now we need 20 pills, and then now we need a quarter of weed, or half a weed, like, just to keep it, but what we didn't notice, it was, what we did see is like, you on pills, now you're smoking every minute, so that smoking, we're going through a half, all of that in one day. So then we'll talk about it and be like, we gotta stop. Like, we up all night doing this, like, we're not eating, we're not paying attention to nothing, like, the love wasn't even getting there, because then you start, when people say you abuse drugs and everything like that, don't let it abuse you. it really does abuse you, because then it strips away all the happiness that you first was getting with it, you know? All of that stuff just goes away. Eventually you just like, just be like blank. Like, the fuck, you know? And we was getting to that point, you know, a lot of paranoia, like, when I'll be on there saying, like, she'll be playing her games and stuff like that on the phone. You want to do stuff. You want to be entertained. You want to listen to music. You want to do a lot. And, you know, I'll be thinking stupid shit, like, while I'm high. I bet, damn, she probably texting some dude. Or, you know, she's probably thinking the same thing about me. I'm probably texting somebody, but I'm playing the game. You know, we're not talking. You're just like in a whole other damn world, like, literally, especially with the weed. So everything started becoming like mad uncomfortable. You know, we always shower together, and now I'm like, I don't even want to touch her because I feel like, damn, she might not love. You start thinking all types of stupid shit that's really not there. And then finally, we got into this big fight. You know, when we was like, we was drinking. That's one thing me and her wouldn't really like mix, is like drinking and all that, because then that's a whole other demon. So, you know, one day we was drinking before the pills and the weed. So when we tend to bring up old stuff and everything like that, so I'm like, alright, the only way is if we smoke a blunt or we get some beans, we might get horny and forget all about this shit. So we get into this big, huge fight, and then I'm like, so should I call the guy to bring us the pills and the weed? And she's like, nah, fuck that, this and that. It's already too late. We drinking. I done said some shit. She done said some shit. Now I want to diffuse it. Calling the dude up, like, yo, like, you know, and then she's like, no, fuck that, I'm done, this and that. And, you know, money-wise, I wasn't doing too good. I just left, you know, from where I was living, all my hustle and all of that. Now I'm over here where I don't know nobody. So she was holding me down for a few months, you know, while I was, you know, going through that. And we just was just like, you know what, we done. I slept in my son's room for like 3 days. She slept in her room for like 3 days. We ain't talk nothing. And then we was just like, we done. Like, we done. Like, we said it a lot. We definitely said it a lot. But it was just this like done that came over us, and it was like the first day, first night, you know, we good, you know what I mean? Then it became 2, 3 days, and then the weekend, and, you know, it started becoming like, but you find other things to do, you know, when you sobering up. You find other shit to do. You find movies to watch. You just do everything that you wasn't doing, or that was boring to you while you was high. Like, when I was popping pills and smoking weed, I couldn't stay on one channel. I couldn't watch one movie. I'd be like, alright, two seconds later, I'm like changing it. You know, all because I think what I want to watch is stupid. So she want to watch something, and she's just, music, or certain music. I'll play something, I'm jamming out, and then I feel like, damn, she don't even want to listen to this shit. She probably talking shit in her ear about what I'm listening to. Then you change it, and then it becomes all of that. So once we just started chilling, you know, now I'm able to watch a movie, a whole movie. And now I'm able to take a shower with her without feeling insecure. Now I'm able to, you know, a lot of this stuff, like, you know, it really does, like, excuse my language, but mind fucks you. And we just stopped, cold turkey. You know, we drink here and there, like, I mean, we still drink here and there, like, you know, but even that started, like, getting out the window, because you don't realize when you stop doing drugs and everything like that, like, other shit gets you tired. Like, if you quit drugs, you quit smoking weed, you quit partying and all that shit that was keeping you up, and you just stop, and then you, like, try to go somewhere, or, like, you want to drink, you'll get tired. Like, a beer now or a bottle, like, I'd be just tired. I start yawning and shit while we popping the bottle, you know, all types of shit, like, and it just becomes that, and that's how you stay sober, because now you're tired, now you're giving your body a chance to sleep. And, you know, that was them 3 days that we did separate from each other in the house, was a chance to sleep. I slept the whole damn day for like 2 days. You know what I mean? She slept. She was on her shit. Started catching up with her life, and I'm like, let's just be done with this. And she was like, I'm done with it. And I definitely knew if I was still doing it, she wasn't, like, this would be over. This would be ruined forever. Because now I'm gonna be looking more ugly, and then she's like from the outside looking in, or from the inside looking out, like, what the fuck, like, this weirdo, like, you know what I mean? And weight wise, everything, I was all skinny and all types of shit, like, just ugly. I look back and now she has a few pictures on her Facebook, and I was really fucking skinny, like, and I'm wondering why every time we go out somewhere, niggas is fucking with me, like, trying to talk to her, try to start shit with me. I'm looking like no wonder, cause I just looked like somebody you could just flick. Like, I mean, I ain't big or nothing now, but I was like looking like literally like somebody you could just flick and be like. So I started looking at all that shit and I felt disgusted. Like, just felt like yucky. Even thinking about shit about those days, those crazy days, my body get like a anxious type of shit. Like, and I'll just be like, you ever think about something and you be like, like out of nowhere, cause you just want that shit out your head. That's how I was like when I think about those days, like, and I felt like we had to stop, and we did. It became a month, it became two. People calling me, talking about, yo, I'm around, I got this, I got that, and that was a lot with God too, because I prayed that we'll stop, you know, because it was getting hectic. We wasn't getting nowhere from it. You know what I mean? We wasn't like my motivation was out. Her motivation was out. We had so much plans, to do cooking channels, YouTube pages, cleaning business that she got. She got her own business, LLC, everything, license, everything. So we like, yo, we're gonna buy this, we're gonna buy that for the company. But once we popped that pill in it, all that shit went out the way. Like, we just like, yeah, we're gonna do this. And like, let me say, your inner, excuse my language, your inner real nigga is gonna be in your head. Like, stop this shit. Like, this shit corny. Like, I mean, like, and we was getting there. And then we just like, you know what? Fuck this. Like, let's just stop before it gets worse, before people find out we some e-heads. Like, I ain't saying I mean like it's nothing wrong with it if you do it responsible and all that shit, but shit starts to abuse you. Like, it really does abuse you. And wasn't paying attention to the baby like that, and we just wanted him to sleep all day so we could party. We could, keep fucking all night and all types of shit, like just a bunch of goofy shit. And by the grace of God, we just stopped. Like, no temptations, like nothing. Like, that shit just went out. I started like arguing with the plugs on purpose. You know what I mean? And I was like, you know what? I need this. Cause if I'm still cool with this nigga, I'm gonna eventually, hey, yeah, what's up? Yeah, sunny outside. Yeah, come through the talk. Yo, matter of fact, you got some pills? You got some bean green? You got some weed? You know what I mean? And it just kept. So I was just like, you know what? Once I was like killing those relationships, I was happy about it. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, all right, at least I kill. And I'm a type of person. I'm a Pisces, so I cut you off. I cut you off. I do it for petty shit, stupid shit. Sometimes my enemies be like, damn, for real, bro? Like, that shit wasn't even that serious. I'd be like, yeah. And I might think about it and be like, yeah, get cool with you, but I'm really like that. And so I was cutting them off, and then I'm like, good, I needed this. I really do need this, because if I keep talking to them and I keep being cool, eventually I'm going to be wanting to, you know what I mean? And they, as hustlers, they got to eat. So, of course, they going to be hitting me with the cheap prices and all types of bullshit that I'm like, and I'll probably fall for it. And by the grace of God, I fought them demons, and I stopped because I wanted better for myself. I wanted better for her. She was mainly doing it because of me, because, you know what I mean, she seen me doing it and she didn't want me to feel alone and all types of shit, like doing stuff. And when she told me all of that, I was like, damn, man, I didn't want you to be doing that shit because, you know, you see me doing it, you didn't want me to do shit alone, this and that. And she like, yeah, that's why I did it. So I'm like, damn, like feeling guilty about it. Like I'm ruining this lady's life because I want to do shit and everything like that. Like my first day coming back here, like she called. She was like, yeah, come see the baby, this and that. And she like, I'm gonna get you some pills and I'm gonna get you some weed, cause she knew how I was. Like if I ain't have certain shit, like I have attitude and everything like that. And I was with somebody else, and I wasn't even doing them like that with that person either, because she lived far away from the plug. So I was just like, came back and kind of like relapsed, on myself and taking advantage of somebody that's gonna keep looking out for you and keep like just doing it just to see you happy. And that shit it don't end up happening like that. It just becomes a big clusterfuck. So don't believe, keep feeding somebody or they're gonna stop stealing. They're gonna no. You supporting them, but once you don't have it, they're gonna start stealing from you. And we had a lot of shit, and you know, another one was because she has a son, and he's heavily into weed, and he was going down the wrong path. Right now, he's 16, and he started off doing things because I ended up going away while we was all together and happy. I ended up doing like a year in jail. So once I went away, he started smoking and leaving the house and chilling with his friends. And she's at work. What can she do? And I'm in jail. What the hell can I say? All he gonna do is turn around and be like, "Well, your ass went to jail. You left us." You know, he's. She said he was smoking when I was around and stuff like that, but I never seen it. I never smelled it, anything like that, prior to me going to jail. So I think it more boosted it up when I did go to jail. And we were sitting there. I'm very judgmental, and I'm over here like, he started doing his thing when he ain't have it, stealing from me, taking money from me, taking money from her. You know, all types of teenage stuff that happens, but it's more a lot of addicting stuff. You know what I mean? And he would do it just like anybody that's addicted to shit. And once we stopped, that was the main thing too. I'm like, how the fuck can I be so judgmental about him? And we talking shit, but we doing shit. We getting high, we doing all of this. I was just at first being in my high state. I'm like, well, he's still for that shit, and I don't steal, so I could pop this pill and we could smoke because at least we don't steal for this shit. And it wasn't an excuse. So quit cold turkey. We more happier. We more like it's like one of those how you see the sober buildings, them away ones in California. You know, I forgot what you call them. It's in my head. Rehab centers. When you see them rehab centers in the sun, they got the pool. They got all types of nice shit. People playing beach ball. Like that's how that shit is. Like we not doing that physically, especially because COVID. So we just chasing my son around and you know cleaning like crazy and everything like that. But it's like that. Like we watching shit. We watching series. We watching YouTube series and kept our mind busy, and that really works. It really, really does, all jokes aside. And that's what helped me, that's what helped her. And now, we started buying everything for our business, for the cleaning business. Um, we stacked up the closet with a lot of brooms, mops, a lot of the drill with the cleaning thing that you clean your the bathtubs, the glass ones. Well, they got drill and pieces to it that you could just squeeze the drill and clean the bathtub, the glass door to the bathtub. We got a whole bunch of that. We got vacuum cleaners. We got everything for that business. And due to COVID, them things are slow, but that's there. Whenever everything is, at least that's a check mark on our list, and got that. We started like getting clothes and everything like that for us and being more like conscious about shit. Like if shit, because before we ain't care if shit ain't last or nothing like that. Like we'll find a way, like we did for 7 years. you know we'll always just find a way. I'll find a way, or she'll find a way to get it, and everything like that. But now we more conscious, like damn, shit don't last too long. Like all this unemployment, all this other like that shit do not last, and that's the kind of like concept we have in our mind with everything like that. Damn, yeah. Your neck really does hurt when you're talking. I see a lot of YouTubers say that, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna stop because my throat is hurting and this that shit really hurt. Like, excuse me. But yeah, that's how I came over with the sobriety, and like I said, it led from 1 month to 2 months to 3 months to four, and now we just staying busy, cleaning, and focusing on business. Um, I do my clothing line on Bonfire. Um, I'm putting that out there, paying more attention to that because I wasn't before. You know, I could even design being high because I want to do 50 things at once. That's the thing why you can't keep an addict in one spot because they literally want to do 50 things at once. They feel like they're missing out on this. They feel like they should be watching that. That's how I felt, you know. And I wasn't able to do shit. I'll be writing, like when it came to my music, like I make a lot of music, like I said, SoundCloud, Artillery Rodriguez, SoundCloud.com. Um, you know, those songs is old because I lost the motivation. You know, I started doing the drugs and I started like, you know what I mean? I couldn't put away for studio time. I couldn't go to the studio if I didn't have pills, and it was crazy. And I lost a lot of people to like deeper drugs, you know, and that could have been me on the wrong pill. That could have been laced with something or pressed with fentanyl or some shit that they're doing now to a lot of the perks. You know, because fentanyl and the perks is doing the same shit. So now they're just cutting it with that to make you give you that more dozy feeling that you get with the perks. And I'm happy I never been a downer person. I never liked the downers. I never did perks. I never did oxys. I never got into that because it keeps you like, you know. I did do a perk once. I don't want to, you know, seem hypocritical. I did, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I passed out in the back seat, and I woke up to somebody pouring Corona in my mouth. Um, Shout out to my boy T Money. Um, I was in back of his car. I took a half. She gave me only half, and I took the half. Went inside to drink at the bar and everything like that. And you can't mix that shit together. So I end up drinking on the perk and everything like that, and end up passing the fuck out in the back seat, and woke up to my boy pouring Corona Lime, and I'll never forget that shit because I hate that Corona. Like, shout out to Corona, I love Corona to death, but Corona Lime was he had that and he poured it in my mouth, and I woke up and I was just like snapped out of it, fucking blew outside. It was like 6 in the morning. I'm like, never again, you know. So I never liked it. I'm happy I was never a downer because a lot of people down. Like when you do downers, that's slowing your heart down. So your heart is going like, and then eventually this is like, well, if you want to go slow, then I'm gonna just stop. And that's how you end up dead on the pill. You know, R.I.P. to my boy Smokey. Take a perk. Some other pills he was doing, I'm not sure, but he ain't wake up from it. Completely died. And you know, yeah, I mean, you know, the ecstasy and all of that is bad too. You know, your heart is like sometimes I get high and just touching my thing, like, damn, my shit pumping hard, like, you know. Oh, wifey would put her head on my chest, like, you know, all women do, and be like, you know, trying to watch a movie, and she was like, Papi, your fucking heart is beating like crazy, like, you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine, I feel fine. You think you fine, but your heart's like the whole time, the whole night, and that shit sucked, and it got terrible, and like I said, I'm 7 months clean, no pills, no weed. The pills, I mean, the weed to me, that's another thing, was too loud. It was too, the smell. I'll have to go out and smoke, and then my son, you know, he was 2 at the time. He'll be in the house by himself while we on the porch smoking. You know, on the porch is, you gotta open this door and then go out, and then porch to the apartment is over there. So it was kind of like a distance, you know. And then he'll come out or want to come out and be like, no, we can't come out because we're smoking. And then when we did come out, we let him out, and then we'll be like, trying to blow it that way, you know. And then he'll like try to get closer, or stuff like that. Or he'll see me like, like have like breaking a Dutch or something like that. Kids observe. Excuse me. It's not something that I was doing. Like a lot of these rappers and stuff like that. I'll be seeing some of them. He's smoking a blunt. Their kids is in the house. They're saying, "Huh? I can't do that. I can't." And I used to go to the porch, and then that became another thing of paranoia to me, because I'm thinking, shit, like we being so judgmental on everybody else, and we over here smoking, and my son is knowing what weed is. Every time he see me breaking up a Dutch and throwing it in the garbage before we go out, he's trying to put his shoes on. Why? Because he knows we about to go to the porch and smoke. So it was just so much shit that led to my sobriety because of that. And I'm happy I put it all in a bunch and this one video, just to basically do the background on it. And I got a good support system with her and my son, because I got her being the anchor to this, stopping it all, and because I care what she thinks. And I don't want to be doing shit and just be like, there's dudes that don't care what their girl thinks, and then be mad when they leave them or they cheating and somebody like that, because it's a difference between love and just loving you, So, and we was getting to that point where she was just loving me. Like, well, I love him, okay. But, if it wasn't for that fight, that 3-day fight, we probably would have still been doing it, because once you're doing it, you keep going, keep going, keep going. Now you needed to do this, now you needed to do that, now you needed to do, I needed to do a lot of things that I eventually stopped doing on the drugs. I stopped making music. I haven't wrote music in like 7 months, exactly. I haven't been to a studio in a whole full year, probably going on 2 years. Um, and I'm very talented. I always listen back to my music, and but destroying relationships through paranoia. Oh man, I don't even wanna. I'm getting anxious thinking about it. Like that back thing that I don't wanna like. No. So yeah, that's my video on it. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for everybody who watches, especially the whole thing. I didn't mean to like bore you or anything like that, but I wanted to, give you the ends of being sober with that. I can't speak for everybody that's on dope or crack or stuff like that. That's probably a whole different battle, but I'm sure it's the same, started at least the same, with that. Oh, I'm gonna just do this to do this. I'm gonna just do this to do that, and then you stop doing that. You stop doing that. You literally stop doing that stuff. So that's how you see a lot of homeless, a lot of